everybody. No camera, but I just wanted to take a second and give you some advice on how to deal with these notes. Um, I'm talking about the worksheet that looks just like this, and I wanted to point out we don't really need to write definitions over here this time because like it says river system, and over here it says what's a river system, and it gives that definition. Okay. Um, and it's telling you basically all these parts of the river system and it's showing them on the map. You need to use your brain, take a second and try to understand what these are pointing to. So this tributary is pointing to this little tiny stream on the map that's joining the big river. It's calling the big river the main river. It's calling this place where the river comes from the river source, okay? All these things, we need to pay attention. We're going to use this map to fill at the bottom of this worksheet, okay? Then here it says, why are wetlands important? They transition us between dry and wet places, between dry land and a body of water. And wetlands are basically a filter. If your wetland is not healthy, then your environment, your ecosystem is not going to be healthy. It filters out so much stuff and it slows down erosion and it helps the groundwater stay full and stops flooding because it absorbs so much. So basically, wetlands are like protection from flooding, protection from pollution, so many things. But if they get too polluted and they start to get unhealthy and unsafe, then they can degrade and break down. Okay, if you start taking up wetland and using it for human activities, it's not going to be able to perform its job correctly, perform. So this is why it's really, really important for us to learn everything we can about wetlands and try to be good stewards, which means we take good care of them. Now, at the bottom is an activity. You need to match a number and a letter. You can draw a line or you can just write the letter here. And you're going to mostly use that map diagram, like I said. So let's, for example, do, uh, let's say D, curves in a river system. Okay, curves in a river system. I'm going to go up. I'm going to look. Well, there's kind of a curve here, but I already know Maine means like the big thing, so this probably means the big river. So I'm not going to say that. Floodplain doesn't have an arrow, so it must be talking about this whole big area. But these little jaggedy curves over here, they have meanders pointing to them. And if you didn't know, if somebody's walking kind of all over the place and they were just taking their time enjoying themselves, we call that meandering. So that's why a curve in a river can be called a meander. And so now by looking at that map, I've figured out curves in a river system are meanders. So I'm going to find the word meanders. That's number 5. And I'm either going to draw a line from 5 to D or just write D over here beside 5. You need to do that for all 8. And that diagram is going to help you the most. And that's all you need to do before putting this into your notebook. But make sure you took your time and tried to read and absorb what's going on this page. I would say highlight things, but this is a pretty sparse, pretty limited notes that already is kind of giving you the bare bones. So I would make sure you read it, make sure you understand it, and then get it into your notebook. All right. Have a great day.